Well, I'm about to put the block on my xs650, and there's two ways I can see to do this. The Haynes manual suggests that you put the pistons on first and then drop the block onto the pistons, but I thought that was going to be a bit fiddly to be putting the rings in at the same time in a very small space. So I've plumbed for putting the pistons in first into the block and then lowering the whole block with the pistons down, and then all you've got to do is locate the gudgeon pins. First of all, this is the second time I put this block on because I forgot to put the gasket on, so it's so easy to forget when you've got other things on your mind. So first of all, make sure that you've got the gasket on the bottom and that your slipper is inside and not outside, because that can fall outside the block and then get trapped outside, which means you're going to have to pull the thing off again. And obviously make sure that your chain, if it's a one piece linkless chain like mine, make sure that that's obviously inside as well and pulled up. So have something ready to tie that up and keep it out of the way. I've actually got a bit of wire for doing that with a hook on the end. And the other thing that might be useful is to have a block of some kind to just shove on to support the block when you're trying to get the gudgeon pins in, because there's quite a lot of weight there. It's pushing down all the time, and that can make things a lot easier just to have a block to separate the two while you're putting the gudgeon pins in. And lastly, because I've already done this before, I think it's probably going to be easier if I put the gudgeon pins in slightly first so that they're already in position. Just make it that little bit easier when I'm doing it, hopefully. So this is it. Let's have another go. So that one's already in. Just put the rings in on this one. I've staggered the gaps so that they're not all lined up, and then I just find the gap on the top compression ring, push from the opposite side with the screwdriver slightly just to get it into the bevel. There's a bevel edge here on the bottom of the jugs, so just push that in from the back, and then just keep a light pressure on the top of the piston, or on the bottom of the piston, and just ease the rest of the rings in, and you'll find that that'll just drop down to the second compression ring. And then the same thing again, push from the back, the opposite side to the gap, and then gently push, ease that in, and the bevel will help get that ring in. Sit on the scrape. Once you've got the two compression rings in, the scraper rings just fall in very easily. And a slight rocking movement, and we're there. That's it. Alright, and next thing to do is just line up the gudgeon pins in a line, make it that bit easier to get them into the small ends, and that should be what you need. In fact, that stops the pistons going in too far, having the gudgeon pins in, so that is quite useful. Right, let's see how this bit goes. Right, so we've got the back that way around. So here's where we've got to make sure that we've got the slipper inside. Both the small ends, and then we've got to put the chain up. So now hopefully this block will help us support. Yeah, there, which is just about right. So that block is 80 millimeters high, and that actually now supports it, so you can comfortably push the gudgeon pins in and put the circlips in. I've still got to get the chain through yet, so let's hook that out. There we go. Make sure the gasket's sitting down all the way around. Slippers in. Alright, we're just ready to put the gudgeon pins in there, so I'll just use a hammer to hold that in place for now. Right. So now I'm going to just line up the catching pin with the small end. Which in fact I am going to pop. Got it. Once one's lined up, the other one should be easier. Let's just put the pin in for that one. Right, let's fit this circlip, make sure it doesn't fall into the crankcase, that would be a bit of a disaster. Make sure it's properly seated, good. And the other side. Wow, this is getting heavy. Both of them in now. Phew, right. That block was very helpful. Made all the difference. Make sure the chain's pulled right up. It should drop straight in now. And she's down. Great. Slipper's in the right place. Chain's okay. And that should actually sit on top of one of those studs if it's correct. Yep. There it is. Lovely job. It gets easier every time you do it.